Ruim 2 weken geleden heeft Shell in een hoorzitting in de Tweede Kamer kritische vragen moeten beantwoorden over de olievervuiling in Nigeria. Voor het eerst in het 103-jarig bestaan van de multinational legde de top verantwoording af in het parlement. Vandaag opnieuw de Zembla-uitzending van juni 2010. Die leidde tot deze bijzondere hoorzitting. Olie. Brandstof voor onze auto's, vrachtwagens, vliegtuigen. De honger naar olie is niet te stillen. We schrikken ons echter rot als er miljoenen liters olie in zee stromen, zoals met de BP-ramp in de Golf van Mexico. Ondertussen is er al 50 jaar een olieramp aan de gang in Nigeria, waar we niet naar omkijken. Shell maakt hier miljarden en miljarden winst, met voor het milieu catastrofale gevolgen.
If you see well, everywhere in the bush is being polluted. We cannot longer fish this place again.
Mangrovenbossen, viswateren, maar ook het drinkwater is inmiddels ernstig vervuild.
Environmentally and from a public health perspective, it's extremely serious. It's as serious as it gets.
In Shell's jacht naar olie moeten milieu- en mensenrechten het ontgelden.
In course of making profit, they are killing lives somewhere in Nigeria, somewhere in Niger Delta, somewhere in the Ogoni Axis. People are dying as a result of the profit that they make every year.
Ondanks alle kritiek houdt het hoofdkantoor van Shell in Den Haag haar aandeelhouders voor dat ze duurzaam bezig zijn.
Sustainable development and social performance is absolutely key in the way we do our business.
Als de aandeelhouders echt eens door de Niger-Delta gaan lopen, eens zien wat er met de lokale bevolking gebeurt, dan vraag ik me af of je nog zo comfortabel voelt met het hebben van die aandeeltjes Shell.
Zembla trok naar de Niger-Delta en onderzocht de praktijken van Shell.
Shell has been an important part of Nigeria's growth for more than 50 years. Shell was the first to export oil from Nigeria in 1958. Shell is Nigeria's oldest private sector energy company and has a long-term commitment to the country and its people.
Nederlands trots, Royal Dutch Shell haalt zo'n 10% van zijn olie uit de Niger-Delta. Het olierijke gebied in het zuiden van Nigeria. Het draagt voor een belangrijk deel bij aan de miljarden winst die het bedrijf maakt. Maar hoe hoog is de prijs?
This is called Goi community. As you can view this place, this is the most recent spill that occurred in last year.
Last year?
Yes.
And where does it come from then, the spill?
It comes from Trans-Niger pipeline.
And who's owning the pipeline?
Shell Petroleum Development Company of Nigeria. They are the owner of that facility. The oil that spills approximately 2 kilometers from this place. That is where you can see the pipeline.
But then the whole 2 kilometers is spilled with oil.
Yes. All these black spots on the mangrove are spills. The whole place is polluted with crude oil. No fish in the swamp again. Okay, this was the only source of water supply for the community. Look at it now. It's contaminated with crude. Look, you can see the surface of the water there.
Goi ligt in River State, de belangrijkste staat van de Niger-Delta met bijna 7 miljoen inwoners. De commissaris van Milieuzaken vertelt wat er aan de hand is.
Communities are polluted, farmlands, swamps and creeks are polluted, and they so remain polluted for several years unattended to. And of course, what you do at the end of the day is to subject such a community to abject penury because their source of livelihood is fishing and farming. And when their farms and the waterways are all polluted, they no longer have any source of livelihood.
Look at that man there. Look at that man walking there. When this place was in a normal situation, you cannot sight that person there. It was totally thick and green mangrove forest. Look at that man there. Dako! Yes. He said he's there struggling to look for his living, but there is nothing. Our people are hungry. And a hungry man is an angry man.
Some time ago, the Niger Delta was very quiet because people didn't know how to agitate themselves. But with more exposure of the persons, of the people and the communities of the Niger Delta, they realized that they were being cheated. Because if a spill occurs, they come, they pay some compensation, some money comes in, and you become satisfied. But when they now realized that that compensation is a chicken feed compared to what they are suffering from, and the long-term effect of the pollution on the environment, this agitation started.
De familie van Eric Bariza hield zich vooral in leven met het kweken van vis in een vijver.
This is the gate of the pond.
Yes.
This is the gate of the pond. And this is where the inlet, where oil spills, passes into the pond and spoil the entire ecosystem. You can see it. Look at the cake spills at the entrance of the pond. This is oil. All this is oil. Look at now. We could not operate our fish farms, because of the pollution. And this, my daddy could not take care of the family.
It's not just the people in the community that is angry about the oil companies, but the entire Niger Delta region is angry about the operation, the modus operandi of oil companies in this part of the world. In course of the operation, the environment is heavily degraded, and then nothing is being done about that. At the end of the day, you impoverish the people, completely exterminate their own source of livelihood because you want to make profit.
De woede in de Nigerdelta richt zich op de werkwijze van de oliemaatschappijen. Al in de jaren 90 leidde schrijver Ken Saro-Wiwa in Ogoniland een vreedzame opstand tegen de vervuiling van Shell. Onder grote druk trok het bedrijf zich terug uit het gebied.
In recovering the money that has been stolen from us, I do not want any blood spilt. Not of an Ogoni man, not of any strangers amongst us. We are going to demand our rights peacefully, non-violently, and we shall win.
Samen met 8 medestanders werd Saro-Wiwa in 1995 opgepakt door regeringstroepen en na een omstreden proces opgehangen. Shell werd van betrokkenheid beschuldigd. Het bedrijf zou om ingrijpen van de troepen hebben gevraagd. Vorig jaar heeft Shell met de nabestaanden hierover een schikking getroffen voor ruim $15 miljoen.
While there is no doubt that the development of the oil and gas industry is central to Nigeria's future, there are of course significant challenges. But Shell companies are working in partnership with the Nigerian people and their government to overcome those challenges so that together we can help build Nigeria's future.
Shell opereert in Nigeria in een samenwerkingsverband met de overheid. Shell heeft een aandeel van 30%. De meeste opbrengst van de oliewinning gaat naar de regering in de hoofdstad Abuja.
If people address to Shell about the problems here in the Niger Delta, they say, well, you have to go to the government. 90% of our profit goes to the government. They are responsible.
That the government is responsible, completely, I will not agree with Shell. They are the operators. Government has interest, yes. But government has made investment in it and expects to reap from her investment. But Shell are the operators. They have the technical knowledge. So they ought to know the standard that they ought to operate. Now I also give an example. You have your money, you invest in a company, right? If that company in course of its operation causes any problem, right? They will not hold you responsible. As a shareholder, as somebody who has invested in that company, the company will be held responsible.
We kijken in verschillende plaatsen hoe Shell te werk gaat en reizen dwars door de Nigerdelta naar JK4, een gemeenschap die zwaar is getroffen door talloze lekkages.
How many spills were there in this area?
It's more than 20 spills.
20 spills?
Yes.
In what time frame?
Actually, it's a period of 1 year. It occurs all the spill.
In 1 year there were 20 spills?
Yes.
How does it affect your community?
Presently, the economic streaks and the fish, and it caused problem to us because we depend on those things. And no compensation was even paid. If you check those pipes that are there, it was laid in 1970. It's equipment failure. They even tested it and see that it's equipment failure.
I'll say they admitted that it was failure.
Yes. And all of them are in surface. The oil is presently flowing now.
Who owns these pipelines?
Shell.
And did you ask as a community to put them underground?
Yes, we asked them to put it on the ground. They said that there is no budget for it.
No budget?
Yeah. Take it easier. This place is slippery. This is the oil. If you check, you can see it. The oil. That is fishing net. And these are the pipes. It's laid in 1970. If you touch this, you see that it's hot. The oil is inside. This is what they felt that it can stop the oil. And you can see that it's not stopping the oil. It's spreading inside. If you see well, everywhere in the bush is being polluted. We cannot longer fish this place again because of the oil.
And this was an important place for you?
Yes, this is a lake.
And how many families depend on this lake?
The families that depend on this lake is more than 7 families. The community as a whole.